After World War II, Europe faced a daunting and unprecedented problem. Millions of tons of unused weapons, bombs, and explosives were left scattered across the continent. The war had ended, but its deadly remnants remained, hidden in bunkers, fields, and warehouses, posing a constant threat to civilians and the fragile peace that was just beginning to take hold. The chosen solution, agreed upon by many governments desperate to restore order, was to remove this dangerous material from populated areas and dump it into the sea, far from the recovering towns and cities. The hope was that the vastness of the ocean would swallow these weapons, making them someone else's problem, or perhaps no one's problem at all. The Baltic Sea, especially the waters near Germany, became a major dumping ground. Over 1.6 million tons of munitions were dropped into the Bay of Lübeck alone, turning the seafloor into a hidden arsenal. Other sites across the North Sea and Atlantic were also used, but the Baltic's shallow waters made it a preferred location for this grim task. These weren't just ordinary bullets or shells. Among the dumped weapons were powerful warheads from V-1 flying bombs, torpedoes, depth charges, and artillery shells, many packed with highly toxic explosives and chemicals. Some even contained experimental munitions, the full dangers of which were not yet understood. The hope was that the sea would act as a natural grave, burying these weapons forever, out of sight and out of mind. Officials believed the cold, salty water would keep the munitions inert, and that the ocean's vastness would dilute any danger. But the process was rushed, poorly organized, and often chaotic. Records were incomplete, and many dump sites were eventually forgotten as governments focused on rebuilding. In the scramble to dispose of the weapons, little thought was given to the long-term consequences. For decades, these underwater arsenals remained hidden, their locations fading from memory as generations passed. Fishermen and sailors occasionally stumbled upon them, but for the most part, the bombs lay undisturbed, slowly corroding in the darkness. As our understanding of marine ecosystems grew, so did concerns about what was happening beneath the waves. Scientists and environmentalists began to question the wisdom of this underwater dumping, worried about the potential impact on marine life and human health. These bombs contained trinitrotoluene, TNT, a substance highly toxic to marine life. As the years passed, the metal casings began to rust and break down, releasing their poisonous contents into the surrounding water. As the metal corroded, toxic chemicals and explosives began to seep out, contaminating the seafloor and threatening the delicate balance of the marine ecosystem. Fish, shellfish, and other sea creatures were exposed to these poisons, and the effects began to ripple up the food chain. The war's legacy had simply shifted to a new, unseen battlefield beneath the sea. A silent threat, waiting to be discovered, and a reminder that the consequences of conflict can linger long after the fighting has stopped. Scientists expected these underwater bomb dumps to become lifeless wastelands. The slow leakage of TNT and other chemicals was predicted to poison the seafloor, making it inhospitable for most marine life. Laboratory studies confirmed that even small amounts of TNT could be lethal to fish, invertebrates, and algae. The expectation was a barren, toxic desert, nothing but a dead zone around the bombs. Any life nearby would be stunted or wiped out, with only the hardiest bacteria surviving at the fringes. The longer the munitions remained, the more poison would seep out, threatening wider ecosystems. Ocean currents could spread the contamination, potentially entering the food web. These bomb fields were seen as permanent scars, places of death and decay. In 2025, a research team led by marine biologist Andrei Vedenin embarked on a daring mission. They sent a remotely operated vehicle, or ROV, into the shadowy cold depths of the Baltic Sea. Their goal was to investigate a notorious World War II munitions dump, a place long believed to be inhospitable to life due to decades of pollution and toxic remnants of war. The team expected to find a barren wasteland, an underwater graveyard, devoid of color and movement, where nothing could survive. But as the ROV's powerful lights pierced the gloom, they revealed something no one had anticipated. The bombs, instead of lying lifeless on the seafloor, were teeming with vibrant marine life, their surfaces transformed into unexpected reefs. Sea anemones waved gently in the currents, bryozoans formed intricate colonies, and fish like cod and eelpouts darted among the warheads, making their homes in the most unlikely of places. What should have been a toxic dead zone had become a bustling oasis, a thriving ecosystem built atop the relics of destruction. The research team was astonished. Years of scientific assumptions about the effects of pollution and war debris on marine life were suddenly called into question. The sight before them was both beautiful and bewildering. The seafloor, once thought to be silent and empty, was instead alive with unexpected diversity. Creatures of all shapes and sizes had adapted, turning danger into opportunity. The researchers had set out to document an ecological disaster, expecting to find evidence of devastation and loss. They were prepared to record the damage left behind by decades of human conflict. Instead, they found a paradox: life not just surviving, but flourishing atop deadly explosives. The very objects meant for destruction had become unlikely sanctuaries. The deep sea had delivered a profound surprise, revealing nature's resilience and ability to adapt in the face of adversity. The grim predictions were proven dramatically wrong, reminding us that even in the most unlikely places, life can find a way to endure and even thrive. The scientists compared life on the bombs to the surrounding seafloor. On the warheads, they found over 43,000 individual creatures per square meter, a dense metropolis of marine life. The nearby muddy seabed supported only about 8,200 individuals per square meter. The bombs were more than 5 times richer in life than the natural seafloor. At least 8 species, including invertebrates and fish, had colonized the explosives. The hard surfaces offered shelter, attachment points, and access to food, advantages missing from the soft mud. Despite the toxins, these artificial structures had become biodiversity hotspots. The animals weren't just surviving, they were thriving. For some species, the benefits of a hard surface outweighed the dangers of chemical contamination. It was a striking example of nature's adaptability. This phenomenon is a classic case of artificial reefs. In the Baltic's muddy expanse, any hard object, like a bomb, quickly becomes a foundation for life. Barnacles, mussels, and anemones are the first settlers, transforming the surface and creating shelter for other creatures. Fish are drawn to these new structures for food and safety. Sunken ships have long served as artificial reefs. Now, W2 bombs have become accidental islands of life. The metal casings offer vertical relief and complexity, supporting a vibrant community. Ironically, objects built for destruction have become vital centers of biodiversity. Despite the thriving life, these are poisoned paradises. The bombs leak toxic chemicals. TNT levels near the warheads are dangerously high. The animals living here have developed a remarkable tolerance, surviving in conditions lethal to most species. But the long-term effects or unknown toxins may accumulate in their tissues, causing hidden damage or genetic mutations. If contaminated creatures are eaten by larger fish, the toxins could move up the food chain, even reaching humans. The bombs remain a significant environmental hazard. As they corrode further, sudden releases of toxins could devastate these communities and the wider ecosystem. The paradox is clear. These hotspots of life mask a deep, persistent danger. The bombs are both a cradle for life and a ticking ecological time bomb. The scientists were genuinely shocked. They had expected to confirm a theory of lifeless toxic zones. Instead, they found the opposite: dense, thriving communities. Lead researcher Vedinin summed it up: "We were prepared to see significantly lower numbers of all kinds of animals. But it turned out the opposite." The discovery forced a rethink of how pollution and habitat interact. Sometimes, the need for a specific habitat can outweigh even severe toxicity for certain adaptable species. The findings are a humbling reminder: nature is full of surprises and our models don't always predict reality. Science advances by being open to the unexpected. The discovery presents a dilemma for environmental managers. The bombs are hazardous, leaking toxins and posing risks to the ecosystem and human activities. Removing them seems logical, but they now serve as critical habitats for marine life. Simply clearing the bombs would destroy these unique ecosystems. The challenge is to remove the danger without erasing the new life that's taken hold. This requires a careful, balanced approach, one that weighs environmental cleanup against habitat conservation. The situation is a stark reminder of the complex, unforeseen consequences of human actions. The goal: find a solution that minimizes harm and preserves the Baltic's health. The researchers recommend a creative and forward-thinking solution to a problem that has lingered beneath the waves for decades. The bombs, relics of a turbulent past, must be removed. The long-term risks to both people and the environment are simply too great to ignore. These explosives threaten not only marine life but also the safety of coastal communities and the health of the entire Baltic ecosystem. But before any removal takes place, the scientists propose a bold idea. Install non-toxic artificial reefs in the very spots where the bombs once lay. These new structures would be carefully designed to fit the needs of the local marine species, ensuring a smooth transition for the ecosystem. These artificial reefs would mimic the physical features of the bombs, providing shelter, breeding grounds, and feeding areas for the diverse marine life that has come to depend on these accidental habitats. This replace, don't just remove strategy is about more than just cleaning up pollution. It's about preserving the unique ecosystem that has developed around these unlikely structures, while finally eliminating the source of danger and contamination. The approach could serve as a model for managing similar situations worldwide, wherever hazardous remnants have unexpectedly become vital habitats for marine life. By learning from the Baltic, we can find ways to balance environmental restoration with the needs of nature. The story of the Baltic's munitions is ultimately a lesson in humility, resilience, and the power of creative problem-solving. It reminds us that even our mistakes can give rise to new forms of life and hope. With careful planning and action, we can clean up the past while protecting the unexpected life it has fostered. It's a delicate balance, but one that offers a brighter future for both people and the planet. The future holds the promise of a cleaner, safer Baltic Sea, one where new reefs support thriving marine communities, and where the mistakes of history are transformed into opportunities for generations to come.